Hello friends, welcome to learning sessions, and here we are going to start with a new subject for the CAIIB, that is ABFM. So we are going to start the chapters and lectures related to ABFM, and here we are going to cover in English only language. So if we are preparing for the CAIIB exam, all the papers are available in both of the languages. Hindi mix English language is also available and English only language is also available, and this is related to the module A of the ABFM. First of all, the first chapter that we're going to start today, it's the basics of the management. So do confirm the audio video quality at the earliest so that we can proceed. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe to the channel and press the bell notification icon so that you get updated whenever we upload the new video. So we'll be moving module wise from module A, B, C, and D, but I'll also be telling you the syllabus wise priority that's available in our YouTube channel. That's already available there, right? So let's start the session. The first thing that we're going to start today, it's about the chapter number 1 from the module A. That's the basics of management. Now, what is the core meaning of the management? What is the core meaning of the management? So management is what? Management is a systematic process. It's not like a simple process. It's a systematic process where that time by time the things are to be followed. And this is a systematic process so that we want to achieve the organizational objectives and we want to achieve the organizational goals efficiently, means you with the minimum cost. So we want to go for the minimum cost, right? We want to be more efficient so that with the minimum cost, and also we want to do it effectively, like with the maximum output. So with the minimum cost we want to have the maximum output through the coordinated human efforts, right? So those things are to be done. And why all those things are to be done? Because we want to achieve the organizational objectives. Okay, so there are multiple definitions given. Like the first definition, it's given by the Harold Kuntz, right? So Harold Kuntz says what? That management is art of getting things done through others and formally organized groups. So that's the definition. Different definitions given by the different persons. Like one definition is given by Frederick Winslow Taylor and Henry Fayol, right? So Henry Fayol basically told it about the forecast and plan thing, and the Frederick Winslow Taylor told it as an art, right? We want to get the things done through the people. But the major definition, the major meaning I told you, like we want the things to be done efficiently. It's not like we want the things to be done as it is, but we want to do the things efficiently, and also we want to do the things effectively. So that is very much important. Efficiency and effectiveness is very much important, and through the coordinated human efforts. So proper human efforts should be there. And why all these things are to be done? Because we want to achieve the organizational goals. That's the major purpose related to it. So now we are going to learn about the functions of the management. Functions of the management. And we are having the 5 function. That is, P is for planning, right? Planning. And further, it's related to organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, right? So that's a these are the functions of the management. These are the functions of the management, and very much important. Each every function is very much important. The first function that we are starting with, it's the planning part. It's a foundation function. It's a basic function. It's a foundation function. It's a basic function, and it's a forward looking. It's forward looking. Why forward looking? Because you don't plan for the history, you plan for the future. So that's why we say that the planning function is a forward looking function. We do formulate the strategies, we do have the action plans. So those things are to be chalked out, right? So we decide that what to do, how we are going to do, when to do, who will do, right? So it's just like that we want to convert the goals. So we are already having the predetermined goals with us, and we want to convert those goals to the actionable steps, that how the actions will be taken, how the actions will be taken. So it's like a very let's say black and white plan, right? Like it's a very written and structured approach. Okay. And it bridges a gap between the present position and the desired future position, that where we are and what we want to be. It's basically covered that particular gap. It's about the gap, planning part. It's the first function. That's a planning. Now, the planning is what? As I told you, we are already having the goals. So we can simply be saying that planning is goal oriented, right? And it is forward looking, so it is future oriented. And it's like not like that you have planned once and it's all done. It's a continuous process. The planning is what? Planning is a continuous process. So even if I have planned something, you still plan the things again and again. And it also reduces the uncertainty. It also reduces the uncertainty. So these are the features of the planning. These are the features of the planning. The first feature is related to what? That it is forward looking, it is future oriented. Let me highlight this. This is future looking or future oriented. It's forward looking. It's based on the goals. It is goal oriented. It is a continuous process, right? And it bridges the gap from where we are to where we were. That's a major thing, right? It reduces the uncertainty. Let me write over here that it reduces uncertainty. So these are features of the planning. Getting it? Now, after that, it's about organizing. The second function, organizing. Organizing means you want to organize, you want to arrange the resources, whether those are human resources, whether those are non-human resources. It's about arranging those resources. Okay. And we want to arrange those resources systematically so that we can implement the plans. So even if you're having the human resources, non-human resources, you want to arrange them, you want to organize them systematic manner so that you can implement the plans. So what is the process? The process is related to, first of all, we want to identify the activities. We want to identify the activities, right? And the second one, it's related to what? It's related to, we want to group or classify the activities. So organizing is done how? That let's say you are having a box full of elements. So you'll be first of all finding out the elements and separating the elements, and then you'll be categorizing them. Let's say we categorize these two in one category, these two in one category, and these two in one category. So that's like categorizing. So it's like grouping or classification. That similar tasks are grouped into departments. That's the part, right? That the tasks related to marketing are kept different, tasks related to finance are kept different. That's a classification. The third one, it's related to assignment of the duties. Like the specific duties are allocated to the individuals. Then further, it's related to delegation of the authority and creation of the responsibility. That we are to give the authority. The necessary authority is to be given. When we will be giving the authority? Only in that particular scenario. When we are giving the authority, only in that particular scenario, you will be able to perform the task. So it's like granting the necessary authority to perform the assigned task. Granting the necessary authority so as to perform the assigned task. That's the part. Clear with it? Further, after that, it's related to coordinating authority and responsibility relationships. Coordinating the authority, that we are to ensure a balance between the authority and responsibility. There should be a balance between authority and the responsibility for the, we can say, smooth interdepartmental functioning. For smooth interdepartmental functioning, it is quite important, right? Clear that so far? Kindly do confirm. Okay, so that's about the organizing. So we can simply be saying that organizing is done what? It is going to bridge the gap between the planning and the execution, first of all. Here we are going to focus upon the structures, rules, authorities, responsibilities, right? And there should be a balance between the authority and responsibility. There should be a balance between the authority and the responsibility. Okay. Now let's move ahead. it's related to staffing. The third one, it is related to the staffing. Staffing is like that we have to put the right person at the right place. Right person to be put at the right place, that is said to be staffing. And there are multiple things which are to be done under staffing, like recruitment, selection, training, remuneration, like what salary or incentives are to be paid, performance appraisal, promotion transfer. These are the different scope of activities under the staffing. Like optimal utilization of the human resources, we can say. It's just like the optimal utilization of the human resources. Then after that, it's related to directing, the fourth function of the management. It's about directing. Directing is like that it's like so as to initiate the actual execution of the work. Now, first we did what? We did planning, then we organize the things, then the proper staffing was to be done, right? That was basically take care. And now it's time so as to execute the things, and that's through the direction. And that is through the direction, that it's like actual execution of the work, like people in work now, people in action now. So planning part, staffing part, organizing part, that was related to what? Those were the preparatory functions. Those were mere preparations. Those were the preparatory functions. And the directing is going to activate them. The directing is going to activate those particular parts. Now there are different components of the directing. The one it is related to the supervision. Like we want to monitor the performance of the employees. We want to ensure the tasks are done as per the standards only. Right? That's a supervision. And further, the second one, it's about the motivation, that we want to stimulate the employees so that they can achieve the goals. Right? Now we can be giving some incentives to the employees, like we can give the monetary incentives or non-monetary incentives like appreciation, recognition, promotion, etc. Now this motivation could be the positive motivation or could be the negative motivation. When we're talking about that we want to motivate the employees, the motivation could be like the positive motivation or it could be like negative motivation. Why we say the motivation could be positive or negative? Any idea related to it? Like if you are like angry on someone and you tell them that you will be firing them if you don't do this particular job, if you don't do this particular job, so that can be it. So the negative could be related to the demotion, the negative incentive could be related to the penalty will be imposed. And what will be the positive incentive? The positive incentive would be like reward and recognition, right? So you say like if you do better, we will be giving you reward, but if you do this wrong, we'll be penalizing you, right? So that's the case. Further after that, it's about the leadership. Leadership is like we want to influence and guide the subordinates. We want to influence and guide the subordinates. So it's just like that the main objective is what? That we want to align the individual goals with the organization goals. That is leadership, right? So the manager guides and influences the work of the subordinates in the desired direction. So whatsoever the employee goals are there, we want to align it with the organization goals. And the fourth one, it's related to communication. It's the communication, like flow of the information, that how the information is flowing within the organization. And definitely it is very much required for the coordination purpose. For the coordination purpose, the communication is very important. For decision making, for clarity, this is very important. And it could be a upward communication or it could be a downward communication. It could be a horizontal communication. Upward communication like from subordinate to manager, and downward communication like from manager to subordinate, and peer to peer communication would be the horizontal communication. It will be the horizontal communication. Clear with it? So that's about the directing part. And the fifth one, it's about the controlling. It's about the controlling. Controlling is what? That you have already established the standards. right? We are already having the standards established. Now after the standards have been established, now we are going to measure the actual performance. We are going to compare the actual performance with the standard one and finding out the deviations, and the corrective action is to be taken so that we can achieve the objective. That is what that is about controlling part. So controlling is actually that we want to ensure the actual performance that is going to conform with the planned objectives. We want to achieve that thing. We want to achieve that thing. That's about what? That's about the controlling part. So under the controlling part, we are to set the standards. We are to set the standards. We have already established the benchmarks for the performance. That's the first thing, that we have already established the benchmarks. The second thing it's related to that we want to evaluate the actual performance. We want to evaluate the actual performance. We want to compare it with the standards, right? And further, then we take the corrective actions so that we can achieve the objectives. Clear with it, right? So that's about the controlling. Now, after that, it's about the importance of the management. So before that, what are the five different functions of the management? The one, it was related to planning part, the planning part, organizing part, staffing was to be done, and execution was to be done, right? And controlling. So these are the five different functions of the management. Clear with it? Now, let's move toward the next topic. It's the importance of the management. So first thing first, effective change management tool. Like, you were already good and we want to move toward the great. How we are going to transiting that particular part? How we are going to be there? Now some environmental changes will be there, some organizational changes will be there, and how that would be possible? How that particular part would be possible? That is about what? That is about the change management tool. So the first thing it is related to that the management is going to help you in that particular thing. The management is going to help you in that particular thing, right? Clear with it? The second thing it's related to helps achieve group goals. Helps achieve the group goals. So management is going to help you that how the decision quality can be improved, how we can be aligning the individual efforts with the organizational objectives. So individual objectives are there, so that those are to be aligned with the organizational objectives. And if we do align that particular part, and if we basically know that how the quality of decision is to be improved, right, definitely it's going to help us a lot. So management in a way will be ensuring the effective control over the departmental activities, so that we can be basically looking at the functioning of the various departments, and we will be having much more important, we will be having the control over those departments. And once we control the functioning of the various departments, through which we will be able to achieve the group goals. Through that particular part, we'll be able to achieve the group goals. Further, it's related to optimum utilization of the resources. Now, definitely, I told you that management is what? That we want the things to be efficient and effective. Efficient means low cost, and effective means that we want to achieve the maximum out of it, right? So it ensures maximum output from the limited inputs. So optimum utilization of the resources will be there. Further, improved functioning of business and reduce cost. Improved utilization, or we can say improved functioning of the business. Definitely it will be the case. So we can achieve the maximum results with the minimum input. Like, it will be reducing the wastage. We can simply be saying, if the management is there, the wastage will be reduced. Reduced wastage will be there. Duplication won't be there. Inefficiency won't be there. And your productivity will be increased because you will be having the proper planning and the control. Then it's related to development of the various resources. Development of the various resources. That it covers the various resources like HRD, machine utilization, material management, or let's say financial resources. Those all can be optimized for overall growth of the organization. So it's not like one thing is growing, but it's like the complete all the departments are growing, and we will be having much better control over those departments so that we can achieve the organization goals and contribution toward the better organization. Now, definitely, if you're working effectively and efficiently, right, and there is a proper communication between the organization, so there will be like established relationship like authority and the responsibility. There will be like proper message delivered that who is having the authority and what responsibilities are there. And if this message is very clear, if this message is definitely the well structured organization hierarchy will be there. And when the proper hierarchy is there, definitely the better organization working will be there. Okay. So that's basically all upon the management part. Then it's related to proper direction to the organization. Like strategic decisions can be made and strategic direction can be given to the organization. All the activities will be properly be aligned to the organizational goals. There's a proper direction. Whatsoever the activity you're doing, the main goals will be looked at all the times. Further, it's related to integration of the various interests. Integration of the various interests. Now, there will be balance between the different stakeholders. Different stakeholders like the employees are there, the managers are there, management is there, right? Owners are there, society is there. So there will be complete balance between these all. So this is basically the importance of management. Let me just give an idea again. The first thing, it's about the effective change management tool. Like if you are to move from one particular state to another state, if you're bad, you have to be good. Then there will be some changes. So management will be telling you that how those changes can be made, and it helps you so as to achieve the goals. Now you have already set the organization goals. The planning part was done, and before planning, you were already having the goals. Now the management will be helping you so as to achieve those goals, and definitely the reduced wastage is there, so your utilization of the resources would be in an optimum manner. And the third one, it's late fourth one, it's related to that definitely the cost reduction is there, right? Reduced wastage is there, your business is functioning in more improved manner. And the fifth one, it's related to, it's not like that you are going to develop one particular resource, it's like the all the resources will be growing all together, whether it's related to the human resource development or machine development or like financial resource optimization, everything will be much more tuned, right? And further contributes toward the better organization. Like I already told you that uh, when the proper management is there, it's going to establish the clear authority, it's going to establish the clear responsibility, and the proper hierarchy will be there. And when proper hierarchy will be there, the proper message from the top will be sent to the people who are working, right? And if the proper message is sent, and each and every effort is toward that we want to achieve the goals, so definitely you will be achieving those goals. Proper direction, that's the same part we have already covered, right? And the eighth one, it's related to integration of the various interests is there. Like it's not like there will be proper balance between the interest of the employees, the stakeholders, the owners, the society, right? So there will be balance between that them all. So those are, that's related to the management, that how the, what is the importance of management, right? Clear it? Now, after that, it's about the management thoughts and approaches. The next one, it's about the management thoughts and the approaches. So we are having the three different type of approaches. One, it is related to the classical approach or traditional school. The second one, it is a neoclassical behavior school. And the third one, it's related to the modern management theory. So first thing that we are going to cover, it's about the traditional or the classical school. Traditional or the classical school that we are going to learn about. Now, when we are saying or talking about the classical management theory, so these are the different theories related to the management. These are the different theories related to the management here. Okay, so classical means the oldest management theory. We are talking about the oldest management theory when we are talking about the classical part. And it focus upon what? It focuses upon the efficiency, the structure, and the productivity. So it's focusing upon the three parts. It's talking about the efficiency, it's talking about the structure, and the third thing, it's talking about the productivity. Right? So main focus is about what? Main focus is about the employee efficiency, that we want to improve the productivity through the standard methods, right? And also we want to improve the operational efficiency, and it's basically focusing upon that we are to reward the employees. The monetary incentives can be given, like through the wages, through the bonuses, incentives can be given, and through that we are to motivate the employees. We are to motivate the employees, right? And what are the key features? As per the traditional approach, it's thought like it's a centralized system. Like the decision making will be concentrated at the top management only. The traditional approach, right? And you focus upon what? You focus upon the production. That if we are having the maximum output, it means we are working efficiently, right? And the concentration is related to reactive, that we are to be finding the errors and we are to rectify them. So we are reactive. We are having a reactive approach. We are not having proactive approach. The errors are being done. We are to find out the errors. We are to identify the errors, and then we'll be correcting the deviations. That's related to it. Further, it basically assumes, the traditional approach does assume that the employees continuity is there. Like whatsoever the organizational changes are there, but still there will be stability in the workforce. It assumes that purpose. So this is an assumption that is made in the case of the traditional approach. And also it's like based on the cost control. It is following the cost control approach. The traditional approach does follow the cost control approach. Now, this is based on accounting, budgeting, efficiency metrics, etc. Right? And equal weightage is given for the different type of jobs and the employees as per this method. Right? So this is being done. These are the features. So one, it's related to, did you think that the messages or decision making will be coming from the top? Second thing, it's related to maximum output you have to work upon. You are working efficiently, and we are focusing upon the errors, like we are reactive and taking the corrective actions, and it assumes that the employees are stable, and further it's based upon the cost control approach. And the sixth one, it's related to equal weightage is being given for the different jobs and the employees. This is a classical or traditional school. That's the first approach that we have learned so far, right? Is a classical approach. And there is a scientific management theory There is a scientific management theory that is given by the FW Taylor, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor. By the Frederick Winslow Taylor, the scientific management theory is developed, right? And this theory is like we are to reduce the waste, we are to reduce the production times. That's about it. That's about the scientific management theory, which is given by the FW Taylor, that we have to reduce the production time, we have to reduce the waste. And further, the second theory is given by Henry Fayol. It's given by Henry Fayol. And this theory says what? This theory talks about the administrative and management theory. This is an administrative theory. So there are 14 principles of management, function, and management. And it says that the management is considered as a primary business activity. And the detailed guidance for the managers are given under this Henry Fayol theory. And the third theory, it's given by Vebler. It's given by Max Vebler. That's a bureaucracy theory. That it emphasizes that formal authority systems, unity of the authority, etc., and the hierarchies are central to the bureaucracy theory. These are the major things which are looked at, like unity, authority of the organization, organizational hierarchies. These things are looked at when we are talking about the theories. Classical approach, there are the theories given. One theory is by the Frederick Winslow Taylor, that is a scientific management theory, that we are to reduce the cost, we are to reduce the waste, right? And the second theory is given by the Henry Fayol, that is basically the theory which is given by Henry Fayol. It says about what? It talks about the that management is considered the primary business activity. That management is considered the primary business activity, right? And it provides a detailed guidelines for the managers. There are 14 principles of management and functions of the management, that how the managers should be working. It's given by the Henry Fayol. And the third, it's given by the Max Weber, the bureaucracy theory, where the central stage is on unity and the authority of the organizational hierarchies. The second approach that we are going to learn about, it's a neoclassical or the behavioral school. It's about the neoclassical and the behavioral school, right? So the traditional theory was talking about what? That we have to reduce the wastage, right? We have to maximize the output, and for reward the employees, so as for the motivation purpose. That was a traditional theory. And the neoclassical or the behavioral school, it's basically emerged as a reaction to limitation of the classical theory. So whatsoever the limitation of the classical theories were there, those were looked into it. Because here we are focusing upon human behavior, like it is focusing upon the human behavior. This particular approach is focusing upon the human behavior. It is focusing upon the motivation. It is focusing upon the interpersonal relationship of the employees with the management, and the peer-to-peer interpersonal relationships, the social aspect of the organization. So the neoclassical theory is working about it. So the focus is not just about the output, but the focus is upon the human needs and improving the morale, that how we can be motivating the employees, right? So the focus is there now. So it particularly says that the different persons get motivated differently because they are having the specific different needs. And it told us about the importance of the communication. The importance of the communication. It's a very critical input, right? And for the organizational performance, the teamwork is very much necessary. The group dynamics are very much necessary. So it encourages the collaboration and the group performance. And further, it has two different perspectives, the human relationship perspective and the psychological perspective. It is having the two different perspectives. Like the human relations perspective is focusing on the interpersonal relations. The human relationship perspective is working upon the basically focusing upon the interpersonal relationships. Whereas the psychological approach is focusing on the individual behavior and the attitude. It is focusing upon the individual behavior and attitude, right? Getting this particular part. Now, what are the different theories under this? Like under the human relations theory, what we talk about, that money is not only better, right? Because we are having the social needs also. Money is not only sufficient because we are having the social needs also, right? So morale is considered as an integral part of the employee performance as per the human relations theory. And as per the behavioral approach, like it combines elements of the psychology, sociology, anthropology, and gives it a scientific basis. So it talks about that each and every employee is having the different reasons to get motivated. It's not always the one reason, it's like multiple reasons for the motivation purpose, right? And there are multiple, theories which are available, like the theories by Abraham Maslow, hierarchy of needs, Douglas McGregor, Frederick Herzberg. The different theories are available. The different theories are available. Clear with it? So those all theories are available under the neoclassical approach. Let's have a look at them. Let's have a look at them. The first one, it's about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The first thing, it's about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Now, what is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs? So it basically explained that the human needs are arranged in a hierarchical order. Human needs are basically arranged in a hierarchical order, and human behavior is influenced by the needs and the desires. And when the unsatisfied needs are there, they are going to, you know, motivate the behavior. And it's not like that we can be jumping upon the needs as per this model. They say that one level of need is when completed, then we'll be moving toward the second level of needs. And when that is completed, then the third one, then the fourth one, and ultimately the fifth one. So there were five level of needs as per the Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. The first level of need is related to the physiological needs. That's related to the food, water, shelter, etc. That's a physiological needs. The second level of needs, it's the safety needs, like related to job security, financial stability. Okay. And the third one, it's related to belongingness. Those are the social needs, friendship, teamwork, relationship, etc. The fifth one are the esteem needs. Fourth one are the esteem needs. Recognition, you want the respect, status. And the fifth one, it's about the self-actualization, like related to personal growth. When you have achieved everything and you are much more focusing about the personal growth, creativity, you want to achieve the full potential of your own. That's about it, right? So that's about the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So you'll be advancing yourself when you have achieved one need. So once you have achieved the physiological needs, then you'll be moving toward the safety needs. If safety needs are achieved, then toward the belonging needs, like the belongingness, the social needs, and then self-esteem needs, etc. Right? So that's about the Maslow's hierarchy needs. And that was a limitation related to it. You cannot be jumping upon the needs. Before completing the tier 2, you cannot be going toward the tier 3. Like if you have not achieved the tier 2 needs, you cannot be going for the tier 3 needs, right? The second theory, it's about the Douglas McGregor's X and Y theory. So the concept was given by the Douglas McGregor. Like they basically explained that there are two contrasting views of the human at the work. There are two insights related to the human behavior at the work. One, it is basically the theory X, which is we say to be the negative approach, and the another one, it is theory Y, which we say to be the positive approach, right? And theory X means the employees who do not love to work, they avoid the responsibility, they do require the close supervision, they're only motivated by the monetary incentives. So in that scenario, the management which will be required would be authoritarian, that you must be having the authority over them. So it is authoritarian approach is required for the management. And the second approach is a theory Y. That's a positive approach, that employees who love to work, who enjoy their work, who basically seek the responsibility, who are self-directed, who are self-motivated, right? Who are motivated by recognition. Now, if you recognize them, if you basically reward them, they will be like motivated. And for them, the management style is participative, right? You need not to be like authoritarian for them. You must be participative for them. Further after that, it's about the motivation or hygiene theory by the Frederick Herzberg. Motivation or hygiene theory by the Frederick Herzberg. Now, this theory was proposed by the Frederick Herzberg. Now, the job satisfaction actually depends upon the two factors, two distinct categories, right? That's why it is known as the two-factor theory, and also we say to be satisfier dissatisfier theory. The first set of factors is basically related to the motivation factors. The first set of factors is the motivation factors, like the internal factors which are going to create the positive satisfaction. These are internal factors. Internal factors which are going to create the positive satisfaction, like the challenging work, achievement, responsibility, recognition. These are the internal factors. These are also said to be the satisfiers. We say such factors to be the satisfiers, right? And the second set of factors which do basically define the particular satisfaction, job satisfaction, those are the hygiene factors. These are said to be the dissatisfiers. These are said to be the dissatisfiers. Like if those are not present or those are absent, they will result in demotivation. And these are the external factors. These are the external factors. Now the satisfier factors will bring the satisfaction, and dissatisfier factors, if not present, they will not create the motivation. They will do the demotivation. And that's related to job security, salary or wages, company policies, working conditions, etc. Right? So if the hygiene factors are present, then there is neutral state. There is no dissatisfaction. If the hygiene factors are present, then there is neutral state. Then there is no dissatisfaction. But if the hygiene factors are absent, that will cause the dissatisfaction. Right? And the true motivation is to come from where? The true motivation will be coming from the motivation factors only. That's going to come from the motivation factors only. Clear with it? No. After that, it's about the third approach. It's about the modern management theory. The first one was the classical approach. Second one was a neoclassical approach, under which we read about these three theories like Maslow's hierarchy theory of needs, Douglas McGregor's XY theory, and the motivation hygiene theory. Now it's the third approach, which is the modern management theory. The modern management theory. Now it's about that we should be focusing upon the scientific decision making, about the adaptability, about the system wide coordination. So it says that the managers should be using the tools, like the managers should be using the different models. The managers must be using the different type of models. They should be using the different statistics so as to look into the things, so as to understand the things. And also the cross functional integration should be there, right? So as to improve the organizational performance. So that should be the case. And the three major modern theories. The first one, it is a quantitative theory. It's about the quantitative theory. Now, quantitative theory was developed so as to solve the problems, so as to solve the issues which do involve people, material, machines, etc. Now, the quantitative theory says that we should be creating the theories, we should be creating the hypothesis, we should be having the models. So, the first thing it's about that we should be using the different models, we should be having the theories, we should be having the assumptions related to the things, and then we should be collecting the data. So first thing, it's about creating the models, then we should be collecting the data related to those particular things, and we can be developing the statistical model out of it, right? And then we should be analyzing that particular part, analyzing the data, and then we can be experimenting over that in the controlled environment. Like if you're having the data available with you, first of all you created a model, like based upon the theories, etc. You'll be having some assumptions related to it, you'll be having the models related to it, you'll be having the theories related to it, and then you started collecting data based upon the parts, and then you basically developed a model, statistical model related to it, mathematical model related to it, that if this data is fed to it, how it will be responding. And then you do the data analysis. Whatsoever the data output that you're getting, you will be analyzing that particular part, you will be experimenting over the different things, right? Like if this input is given to it, what will be the output? If this thing is done, what will be the output? If those things are done, then what will be the output? So it's like under the controlled environment. Like we are having 1,000 employees, we are testing it on the 20 employees only, right? And then the testing is to be done with the changing variables. With the changing variables. Now you're changing the inputs and you're looking at the results, right? And further, we should be having the various instruments so as to quantify the things also, so as to measure the things, right? And then we'll be working upon the things, when then we'll be like saying that how things are working, we know that, and then we'll be working in on the production level. So it's like you're having the scientific and the logical reasons behind the things, and why you're doing the things, because you want to optimize the resources. And for this particular case, we make use of the statistical models, right? Statistical approach, those are being used. So that's about the quantitative theory. That's about the quantitative theory. The second one, it's about the systems theory. The systems theory. Now, this particular theory views the organization as an interrelated, interdependent component. Like we are having the organization. This is the organization. And in organization, we are having the different departments like HR department, legal department, credit department, operations department. The different departments are there. So organization is made from these different subsystems. So these different subsystems are basically creating a complete organization, right? So each subsystem affects another subsystem. This system is going to another affect the another subsystem. Cross working is there. The cross working is there. The cross play is there. So as per this particular theory, we have to focus upon the overall organizational health. That we have to look at the organizational health overall. We are not to just consider the individual parts, right? So if we cut a piece from the melon, we are not to focus upon the cut part only, but we are to focus on the whole melon itself. We should be having a holistic approach related to organization. So we can simply be saying that we should be having a holistic approach related to the organization, right? So that's the part related to the systems theory. And further, we are having the third theory, that's a contingency theory that was given by the Woodward. It particularly says that there is no such state that no single management style is best. So the management practices are going to vary. They are going to vary based on the situation, based on the technology, based on the size of organization, right? There is no single theory which is fitting for all the organizations. That is what it says, that the managers should be adaptable to the unique situations and the circumstances. That's about it, right? Further after that, it's about the Ohio State University and the University of Chicago. That's the Michigan. Ohio State versus Michigan. That is a University of Chicago. So whether there were some findings by the Ohio State University, and it says that there are two types of behavior. One, it is related to the people oriented. One, it says related to the people oriented, and the second one, it says about the task oriented. We are talking about the Ohio State University findings. So we have already covered the three approaches. We covered about the traditional approach, the neoclassical approach, and the modern approach, right? And now it's about the leadership studies which were done related to Ohio State University versus University of Chicago. And there were some findings by the Ohio State University. And based on that, already the questions have been asked in the previous times, right? So what it specifically says, the first finding was related to the people orientation. That is a consideration behavior. That the leader must be having a considerations. They should be building a rapport with the subordinates, good rapport with the subordinates. They should be having the good interpersonal relationships, right? They should be showing the concern. That's people oriented, right? And the second thing it is talked about the task oriented. Like we should be focusing upon planning, scheduling, and aligning the different roles. Like we should be focusing upon planning and scheduling. The roles and responsibilities must be defined properly for those particular tasks, and we should be ensuring the goals in mind. So one thing it was related to that they should be having a good relationship, interpersonal relationship with their subordinates. They should be showing the concern and support, and at the same time they say that we should be doing the proper planning, and the proper, let's say, scheduling should be there, and the roles and the responsibilities must be defined, and we should be ensuring the goal achievement. That's the Ohio State findings. And what about the Michigan study, the University of Chicago findings? When we're talking about the people focus, the Ohio State says that there should be a consideration behavior, but the Michigan study says The relation oriented behavior should be there. The relation oriented behavior should be there. That the social interactions should be encouraged, mutual respect and trust should be there, right? And that is going to empower the employees. That is going to empower the employees. In the case of the Ohio State University findings, it was about showing the concern and support. It's about having a good rapport. But as per the University of Michigan, it says that the social interaction should be there. You'll be working, you should be acting as your peer to them. You should be having the trust. You should bring the mutual respect, right? And when we're talking about the task oriented, task focus, it should be like that you should be initiating the structure. You should be planning, you should be giving roles and responsibilities, etc., etc., right? But when we're talking from the Michigan, the University of Chicago point of view, the task oriented behavior should be there. Like the goals must be defined, the structure must be defined, and further reward and penalty system must be used. The priorities must be defined, like what are our priorities. That's about it, right? So the contingency school of management thought is criticized, right? Because there is no proactive approach, there is reactive approach. You're working like after the things, like I just told you about the neoclassical approach, that we were not working actively, we were focusing on finding the errors, right? So that's the part. So that will be all related to today video. I hope that you must have understood the concept so far. And if you want to get the complete course, simply just do WhatsApp writing. If you want to get the complete PDF of this session, simply just WhatsApp ABFM and WhatsApp it to the number 83609 44207. The complete crash course is also available, right? I know some of these topics you may be finding like very monotonous or like very boring about it, but the thing is that you get questions out of it, so you should be understanding these parts, right? That's the major and most important part. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, do subscribe the channel and press the bell notification icon so that you get updated whenever we upload the new videos. Happy learning.